What's going on, everybody? Alex with the Down to Business podcast. Hope you are awesome, and thank you for watching this episode or listening to it today. Want to take a second to introduce a little bit of our guest, Sophia Sposato. She owns Refined Permanent Jewelry, and I get to talk to Sophia. It's a little bit of a unique episode today where I'm going to talk to her and sort of consult, break down, and help her see where her company can go. She has had a lot of success in a short amount of time when it comes to sales with a business that she just randomly started. And so my hope for this episode is that you'll listen all the way through, even though it might not be a subject matter that you necessarily connect with, that you'll listen to it, apply it to your business, learn something from it if you're thinking about starting one. And I really look forward to this episode of Sophia. She is a sharp young woman, and I really appreciate her being a guest. So again, hey, if you guys would go leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, comment on YouTube, anything where you can help us share it on Instagram, we would really appreciate it. We're building out the studio right now. This is the first episode in it. It should be done in a couple weeks. So we've got more great content coming for you. So get ready for this great episode. Thank you for being a listener. Make sure you hit us up anytime. I'd love to talk with you, and enjoy. You've been out of school a year, and you work at where?
I currently work at Espinosa Vein Institute in Lexington.
Okay.
It's a doctor's office.
Do you know Spanish?
I know Spanish conversationally.
That's 5 out of 10, you would say?
Yeah, maybe a 6, 7 on a good day.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But you're from Italy, so that's not, you had like learned it in college?
Well, my family's from Italy. My mom is from Portugal, and my grandparents used to live in New Jersey that are from Portugal. So I grew up speaking Portuguese, which was very helpful in my Spanish learning.
You know Portuguese too?
Yeah.
Oh,
I know
Sophia.
Portuguese much better.
Sophia, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
it's a very exciting talent, I would say.
Well, just for jobs in the future, like
definitely
the amount of opportunities. So, okay. You started Refined Permanent Jewelry in October.
Yes.
Okay. And we're going to kind of break down your thoughts, where you're at today, what you want it to become, profitability questions, scale questions, how do I scale it, what I want it to be, and anything you want to talk about.
Okay. Sounds good.
I guess fill me in on where the first thought of it came from.
Sure.
Like the second you had the idea.
Sure. So, well, I first heard about permanent jewelry from TikTok. If you look permanent jewelry up on TikTok, it has like more than 200 million views. Okay. It is very, very popular.
Why do you think it's popular?
I think it's something that is new, kind of a fun, unique experience that has kind of never been heard of before. And I think it really just blew up.
You want to know why I asked that question? Because I looked at your website and I clicked your TikTok. You're basically a welder.
Yes, that is what we do basically.
From what I understand is, yeah, we'll get into the like what you do thing, but I could not believe that you had like the whole thing on your face. Yeah.
Yep.
And so I was just like, wow, you wouldn't expect this from a woman TikTok thing.
Yep.
But anyways, keep going. So you saw it on TikTok.
Yeah. So I saw it on TikTok. The first person who started permanent jewelry was Catbird in New York City.
Okay.
And from there it kind of took off. I went to St. Augustine on spring break last year, and I saw the permanent jewelry there, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. I need to get one. So I got a bracelet, and as they were doing it, I was like, this is really cool. I wonder what it takes to start this. But I was still in college. I was trying to finish application for grad school, didn't really think about it. Yeah. So kind of pushed it to the back of my mind. And then around August, September, I get bored really easily and needed something to challenge myself. And it just popped in my head again for some reason. Definitely a God thing. So I started researching it again, and I was like, I wonder what it would take just to do it for me and my friends, because I really want another one. There's not a lot of places nearby. They're kind of expensive. So I kind of went down this rabbit hole of what does it take to start this? Yeah. And doing it as a hobby was a little too expensive. So I was like, how can I do this as a business? Because I know
how can I make my money back, basically?
Yes. And I know just more than my friends will want it. So from there, it kind of took off into a full business.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
okay. So basically, I know what that thought's like. You're like, okay, how much does this machine and the stuff cost?
Yep.
I don't really want to do it. Like, I can't justify that cost for myself.
Yes,
So how can I at
exactly.
least like get my money back or make a little bit here and there? But then you did it a few times, I'm guessing, and you're like, hold up.
Yep.
There's some money to be made here.
Yes.
Okay, got it. So you started Refine. When was like the first event you did?
So I guess I technically started looking it up in August, but the first event I did was in October.
Was that at Soda City?
Mid-October. I only started doing Soda City in the last month or two. The first event I did was at a local boutique somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, the first event I did, I rented out Bloom, which is a coffee shop in Columbia.
Okay.
And I just had all my friends come because
How
I was
many
like,
came? Like 15, 20?
I would say about 20.
Solid.
About 20 friends came. And, I discounted everything because I was like, this is my time just to kind of experiment, see how this is going to go, practice.
So we call that customer acquisition.
Very nice.
Okay. You know what that means? You'll do whatever you need to do to acquire a customer. Doesn't matter if you make money the first time.
Yep.
You're trying to get your goal, and I'm going to put it in business terms for you, was to, okay, let me prove that 20 people I know really like this. They're going to go tell people.
Yep.
And if they like the experience, then I probably have something. Was that the thought?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. And it worked, and I got a lot of content that day. A lot of people started messaging me saying, I really want this. How do I get it?
Yes. On Facebook, social media?
Facebook, Instagram.
Okay.
I started an Instagram in September and said permanent jewelry coming soon.
Okay.
And that's all I posted. And I got a ton of messages from that.
Just
alone.
girls you went to college with and all that stuff?
Girls I went to college with, girls I didn't even know, who was like, do you need someone to work for you? I can model for you. I
saw this
free.
on TikTok myself.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
So, okay. So for people who are listening who don't know, Soda City is our big like market for our downtown scene in Columbia, South Carolina. So just so people know, it's popping.
Yes, it is very big.
My, I don't know, I've been several times, probably 8, I would say, 7 or 8. And there's at least 10,000 people every time I go. I don't think there's less, maybe 8 to 10,000. Did they give you statistics on how many people come?
No, they didn't, but I'm curious to know.
Would you
There's
say
a lot
around that?
Yes, lots of foot traffic for sure.
It's what, 4 blocks of people?
Yes, I think they're expanding to more. As the years go on, it keeps getting bigger.
It keeps getting bigger. My wife's from downtown, so she's loved Soda City forever.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you did that pop-up with your friends, proof of concept. You thought you saw it. You're getting demand from social media. Great things. You haven't spent a ton. How much money have you at this point invested before you spent money at Soda? What was your big one? Soda City was your first one? So up to Soda City number 1, which is like, hey, we're for real. You've got to get a banner. You've got to get a tent. You've got to, like, it's a full day. How much had you spent? You would say invested, excuse me. And what made you take the leap to like, all right, I'm going to do this on a Saturday?
Yeah, well, most of my pop-ups are on the weekends. I usually the pop-ups that I do are at boutiques on the weekends. Or I did Noma Warehouse a lot, which is kind of a night version of Soda City, kind of more, cool. It's in a warehouse. And I did that on Friday nights. That was, I would say, my bigger one before Soda City. But Soda City is like the big.
It's the huge.
Ultimate, lots of foot traffic. Everyone wants to be there.
Everybody wants to have a spot at Soda City. Like, no doubt. Like, I think there's a wait list at some point.
There is.
Okay. Yeah, it's huge.
So starting cost it depends, because starting costs for, doing normal pop-ups was not as much compared to Soda City, because once I got to Soda City, I had to buy tent, tables.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, you actually had to spend some money to do this.
Yes, definitely. I had a lot by the time I started Soda City. So to do Soda City in itself, I probably only had to buy like $400 worth of things because I had so much already acquired.
But so would you say total acquired before you went into it, you had at least spent over $1,000?
Oh, much more than that, I would say. So
I'm asking this question, Sophia, because what I'm trying to get people to understand is like, it actually takes some skin in the game to make money. Like,
when I first started, the machine itself cost $500.
Boom, there you go.
Buying the jewelry is not cheap, especially.
Is it real gold?
It's gold filled.
What does that mean?
It is real gold. That is the majority of the chain. It is equivalent almost equivalent to solid gold in quality,
Okay.
but it is a little less expensive. So for my target audience, which was college girls,
Yeah.
I wanted to pick the more affordable
Yeah,
option
sure.
that was still quality.
Sure.
So I had to buy
Smart.
that. I recently upgraded to a better machine, which is $2,600.
No, you did not.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, you are deep in this thing.
Yes. So it definitely costs.
Let's go.
It cost a lot to start. I would say starting, I needed at least
That's awesome.
$1,500 to start.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and let's like be clear. You had no business background before
Absolutely none.
this. No parents or owners of
Nope,
businesses.
not at all.
Love it.
Yep.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Don't get banned. We need more TikTok entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Just kidding. What's the one that's coming out, Logan? Producer Logan. Isn't there a new one? TikTok, if they get banned, there's an alternative. What is it? I don't know. There's
Is it Lemon?
Maybe you're right.
It
I think
sounds
you're
like
right.
that. It's like a mix of Pinterest, Instagram.
Which is cool. Lemon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's what it's called. I could be wrong.
Chinese people listening to us.
Yeah.
If you're listening, thank you for Sophia's business. Okay. So let's kind of get into we did the origin. Let's go like, it's gone well.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't need to sit here and talk about how well it's gone because it's gone well. You've done, can you share like total revenue you've done since October?
Like not sales, like revenue, you mean?
Top transactions.
I would say my biggest event was Soda City graduation weekend.
Mhm.
I made $3,500 in sales that weekend.
Sales.
So
that's what I mean by revenue.
Yes,
Sales.
that was my biggest event for sure.
It's crazy. How much have you done total, you think, in lifetime sales?
45.
Sick, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So sick in like 9 months now.
Yep.
Wow.
I would say, starting out, I
One day a week, maybe.
Yes, 1-2 days a week. Starting out, I definitely spent more than I needed to.
Yeah.
But that's also just because I cared a lot about the business and wanted to pour into it.
Why did you start it? Just like, so like this was the question I had because I think when a lot of people start a business,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's for the right reasons, some it's for the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Those are up for interpretation.
Yep.
I think if people are just trying to make money, it's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because you might make money short term, but then like some speed bump will come and make that car crash pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you made 20 grand, but then like something blows up, whether it's personal, business, financial, whatever. If it's a mix of both, like I want to be able to buy a car, but I also want to help people, then okay. Like what was your like why of this?
It's funny you said this, that's not my why, but I did actually have a car accident in the middle of all of this and needed to buy a new car.
Well, great.
And, God provided. I had been making this money and I was able to get a car.
Sweet.
But I started it because I thought it was really cool. I had made jewelry before in high school. I really like anything art related.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was just this cool way to kind of immerse myself in the Columbia community while having this new experience-based business that people could enjoy.
Good way to, man, you sure you don't know much about this experience-based business? Because so going to that, I watched some videos right before you came and I tried not to look up too much because I wanted us to have like a pretty raw conversation about your business because I didn't want to know too much, but I had no idea what it was and I looked it up. So basically, you have it on your left hand there now?
Yep, I do.
So permanent jewelry literally means permanent. You
Correct.
can't take it off. And the way you get it on is you have this machine that's sort of like a welding machine.
Yes.
And you weld it on them, right? So it is quite an experience. The girl or the guy, I'm sure there's guys that do it too. They get to watch you put something on them and it's probably kind of cool.
Yes.
So I like that you said experience-based business because they're not just paying for the jewelry in a sense. They're paying for this experience of watching something come to life in a way on their body. Is that fair enough to say?
Oh, yes, definitely. Okay. And a lot of people will book for parties like today. Later tonight, I actually am going to someone's party that they have. So, they're bringing their friends to their house and I am going with all of my stuff to their house.
They booked a party through you?
Yes. So I'm going to do maybe 10, 15 girls and just give them bracelets.
Oh my gosh. And so how did these people find you?
Through Instagram, social media.
Just random person. Man, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've established, I think, what your business is. Let's talk. What's your pain points at this point? So meaning like what's causing you headaches, strife, concern?
Yeah.
Let's go through it and let's like kind of I'll help you through it.
Sure. I think at this point I could maybe, fly okay with keeping everything how it is. But, I want to expand. I want to make it better. I think right now, my biggest thing is I need to hire people because it is growing beyond what I can handle myself.
How booked out are you on, are you booked out?
Sometimes I have to, consider if something's worth it because I don't have the time to go. So that is why I have started hiring people, because if something's on a Tuesday night and I get off work pretty late, I need someone else to go for me. So I've had to turn down, a few things either because I'm too booked or I just don't have the time. It's right after work.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something I'm trying to.
How long is a session? 2 hours?
It depends. So the bracelets really only take 5 to 10 minutes. That just depends on the charms, if people size it, because some people, want it smaller or bigger. So I, let them take their time. This is an experience. I want them to like it. I want it to feel good. So it just depends on the person. The party tonight, I'll probably go for 2 hours.
Sounds like you said 15 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 15 times 10 minutes is 150 minutes. So you'll 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Not including driving there. So let's call it 3 hours, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. It's good to know because if you have a full-time job and you're getting off work at 5,
yep.
You're talking about getting home at 10 o'clock. That's a pretty long work day.
Oh, yes.
That's exhausting.
And I'm definitely starting to feel the effects of it now because I work Monday through Thursday and then I usually have something Friday and Saturday or just Saturday. But it is exhausting, especially without help. So I'm trying to get that.
Well, and I'll say this, and a lot of people listening, I don't know what kind of businesses they have. We have a lot of listeners for different ones. We have Australia. We have a lot of Australian people to listen, ironically, but Norway, whatever. Experience-based business is awesome, but it's even more exhausting because not only are you selling something, you have to deal with the customer while you sell it.
Yes.
And so it's, when I was doing landscaping, I'm mowing grass with headphones on all day for the most part, and I don't have to talk to the customer for 8 hours of my day.
Yeah.
You do. And so not only are you selling, but you're doing. So that can be exhausting, and that the experience makes sense. So you have a degree in public health.
Yes.
And you're about to go apply. You are applying to be a PA.
Yes.
Which is a doctor that doesn't do surgery, basically.
They're not technically
physician's
a
assistant,
doctor,
right?
but they do, 2.5 years of training.
You can write scripts.
Yes.
I know
yes. You can do all the same
my
things
buddy's
a
a
doctor
PA.
can do for the most part.
So what's the thought here on what to do with this? Is it this is fun, I'd like to own it, but maybe someone else run it? Is it this is a great 2-year thing for me to make money so I can go to a PA school and live on the money so you don't have to take out extra student loans? What's just be honest, what's the thought here with Refined?
I think originally I was I'll just do this until PA school, but it's something that I genuinely love and I am making really good income doing. I definitely am going to continue doing it during PA school. I would not stop doing PA school to do it full time, just because I also really do have a passion for medicine and the body and all that stuff. I think my current plan is trying to establish the business as much as possible so it runs on its own a little bit better, so that I have people working for me, have people trained. So, if I have to study one weekend, I have someone who is trained, they know how to do it, and they're good. I definitely will have someone manage my business when I'm at school, doing emails and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'll probably just have a more hands-off approach. But like I said, I do like doing it. So I want to go to the events. I want to be there, be the face.
There's no world that this blows up and you don't go to PA school?
If I don't get into PA school, I will have to take that as something from God to reassess what I'm doing.
What I'm asking is, if this was going to do $250,000 in business next year, if I could tell you,
yes,
shake, and I said, hey, Sophia, God told me that it's going to do 250 next year,
I wouldn't.
You still wouldn't what?
Do it. I wouldn't do it full time.
Interesting. That's good to know. That's fine. That's great to know for yourself, because that the money. So no number.
No, I would say maybe I would put off PA school, but you don't put it off.
No.
You're not going to go if you put it off.
Good. No, I'm asking that because there's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
That way, money is not the deciding factor
Yep.
in if you don't love it enough to do it as a full-time business for your life and career, then you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting at. Like some people, I talk to a lot of business owners and, well, if I made enough money, I'd probably do it. And it's like, that's not why you should do it.
Yeah.
You should want to do it because you love it. I just sold half of my landscape company. Because not because the money wasn't great, because I didn't want to focus all my time on it going forward. And it was a passion conversation and a life-giving conversation rather than a monetary one. So I'm with that 100%. I just wanted to challenge you on that and make sure that we got to the bones of that.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Okay. I guess my next question is what have you thought about, like, this is a question that's going around with a lot of business owners. How are you going to pay people? Are you going to pay them straight hourly? Have you thought about creative ways? I'd love to, because this is like this is like a conversation that a lot of business owners are having is I really don't want to pay people hourly because if the party takes too long or if they do a great job, you just get paid straight time. Yep. And we talk about this a lot at Pure. None of my guys will ever be paid hourly. We're kind of a startup. We're getting close to getting out of that startup phase. We're really growing fast. We're going to do, I've talked about it on the podcast. I had a video go 10 million last year talking about this. Base plus is the best way to get paid. A base salary plus bonuses and profit sharing. It's just the best. Yeah. Because as a employee, you're like, hey, if I go and crush this party, I'm going to make more money. If I go and bring the business more revenue, whether it be, so like, let's say you have an employee soon and she gets you a lead. If she's not making base plus, why would she want to keep growing the business for you?
Yeah. So have
you thought about it?
Yeah, I think I have a lot of different thoughts and questions for you on this.
Let's hear them. There's zero wrong answers.
Perfect. I have people helping me right now. I've had a lot of, quote unquote volunteers, friends who are like, oh yeah, I'll come with you, sit with you, help you,
give me a bracelet,
do your sales pitch. Yeah. I have a lot of people who come help and they're like, I don't want anything. I just want to help you because I'm your friend. But that's where it starts to get tricky because it's like, now it's time to compensate you and I want it to be fair and I want you to enjoy what you're doing, but also, be paid fairly. Yeah. So I do actually have someone who I have, quote unquote hired, and she has done one event for me solo, and I'm actually meeting with her hopefully in the next week or so to talk about what, rates look like.
So you haven't decided yet?
No, I have an idea in my head. I think it's going to have to differ based on if someone's doing a party by themselves and they're welding versus if someone is helping me, at Soda City doing the sales pitch, doing the, point of sale for me. So I have to find two different things for that.
It's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
So basically, if someone's going to be your assistant and they're just going to take credit cards and all that, then you can pay them hourly plus tips maybe or something. By the way, if you have it, I saw the most hilarious video the other day. That comedian John Crist? Have you seen him?
No.
He's what I'm talking about, Logan? He's like the #1 Christian comedian. I don't know if he's how much Christian he is or not. He got kind of canceled a couple years ago, but he did the most hilarious video. He was in Home Depot and he had the Home Depot bib on, and some guy, it was staged. A guy came up to him and said, hey, sir, can you point me in the direction of the wood? And he's like, oh, yeah, it's over there in aisle 3. And then he's like, and he had a phone. He said, and it was like a tip thing. Yeah. Because everyone, he was like, you can give me a tip for giving you directions. Because everybody's asking for tips. I feel like every restaurant I go to, it's like, I feel bad. And then there's never a no tip. It's always other, and you have to go click no tip. Yes. It's so awkward. Yeah. But I will say, you should have that. If you have a Clover, what system do you use?
So I use Square.
Okay. You should have that.
Yeah.
Do you have tips on?
I don't.
You should have it on.
Yeah.
You should totally have it on.
I do have people who tip me or ask, and I can, turn it on for them, but...
Turn it on. When you have Soda City next?
Next week or the week after.
I want you to keep the data for me.
Okay.
And we're going to do a post on this. And you're going to send me a picture of how many tips you got on this Clover system. Oh, will you do it?
I'll do it. I feel so awkward
it's not.
when I'm like, okay, please pay for your $70 bracelet. And would you like to add a tip?
Don't even ask. I've
just say,
I've been studying people because I've been thinking about this because I saw that video a week ago. I went somewhere the other day. It said make a selection on the screen. That was what they said.
Yep.
And I was like, that's a great way to ask.
They say, can you fill out this information for me?
That's it takes too long.
Yeah.
Like I've thought I've heard that too.
Yeah.
But like can you please just make a selection on the screen? Or
I'll do that.
There was another one, someone said like, hey, do you mind making a choice for me? And then we'll, she said something like make a choice or make a selection was like pretty good. 3, make a selection. Like that's so easy. So I want to see how much more money you make in tips, because I have been so fascinated by, my wife will tip coffee every time. I'm like, babe, you just spent $7.80 on a coffee. I used to like, oh my gosh. So Logan's over there laughing.
Yeah, those videos are really fun.
I have zero problem doing the no tip, but there are times where I'm like, I mean, at Moe's, this is the one that got me. Why am I tipping the Moe's guy?
Yeah.
For making my burrito. Did you do something special with the chicken and that I don't know about? So anyways, I want to see what happens with that, because you are doing the experiential thing. That's like with a server.
It is a service.
I tip every time. Yeah. Who everyone should.
Yes.
But I actually, like the other day I went to Cantina, which is a sick Mexican place. Yeah. You know it, I think. It's over by Soda City. Yeah. And this waitress was really good. Like my cup was full the whole time. I sat there for an hour and a half at a business meeting, and to not have to ask for a drink, chips, like all that, I was like, that's worth that made my experience better. Yeah. So anyways, that makes me interested. I love that you distinguish between the two, assistant versus someone that's actually doing your experience for you. So what I would consider is that you should give percentage of each. So let's say you had a girl go and do a $500 pop-up. You should give her a percentage of it.
As opposed to doing
hourly. Yeah, because she should go, like you don't want to think that she's rushing the experience to get home quicker.
Yep.
Or taking longer because she wants to make $10 more.
Yep.
I just don't think, hey, you do a great job. You get the tips plus, because you could send an email, say, hey, would you like to include a tip for your experience? You get the tip plus you get 15 to whatever the percentage is that makes sense on your business. I don't think we need to dive into that.
Okay. Sounds good.
That to me, and that helps you with cash flow, right? So like you'll know how much like this party is. I mean, if the party's $400, let's just like, we kind of talked about this, but I don't want to say too much about your business, but if let's just say $40 is the margin, the profit margin for each bracelet, and there's 10 girls, right? So it's $400 for the night profit, or before you pay someone. Yeah. And she makes 100 of it, like you're still making really healthy margin.
Yep.
And she's making for 3 hours and 15 minutes, like we talked about, she's making $30 an hour.
Yeah.
But she's paying for her gas or whatever. She could be a subcontractor at that point. I probably would do that, by the way, because you don't have a company car. You don't want to you're a small business. You don't want to start doing all that stuff. Make her a subcontractor, pay her X amount of the revenue to do it. I think that makes sense, but that's for you to kind of decide. But I think that's the model that companies are going to go towards. I think like the reason why companies haven't commission-based, if you will, is because everyone has bills and they want to be able to like know what they're going to be getting paid. If you took that element out a little bit with a base salary. Yep. So Logan and them got, our peer marketing guys, their payroll was today. Logan knows how much he's getting paid every other Friday. So if he knew his base expenses would be covered. Yep. But then he was incentivized. Like Logan got us a great lead on Monday. I think we're going to close that lead. The Thrive Plan one. I think we're going to close that lead. After this year, because we're a startup, I told the guys, give me 2 years to get a startup costs. Profit sharing is included for anyone that's in a management position. Nice, yeah. Which incentivizes people who are brand new to be into a management role or be sent. They'll probably be like a 2-year thing. Like, hey, you come and you have to be here 24 months before you get profit sharing. But just imagine how much more people will be incentivized to want to grow the company because they get to share in that rather than just the owner. That's stock options is that way for like people that work at Apple. Yep. Okay. So just talking through it with some of our listeners who may not understand how this works. If you work at Tesla for X amount of time, you get stock options. That's profit sharing. You're getting Tesla stock. You're going to be stoked. Yep. I mean, Tesla stock went up 10% last week. Like if you had 100 shares, you would have made, oh man, what's that? $1,000 in a week.
Yeah.
So extra money. So that's just, I'm just big on that. I'm just really big on that. I had a business with my landscape company that made it really hard to do that. There is a new model out there that figured it out, but paying hourly, I just don't love it.
Yeah.
I just don't love paying people hourly unless there's tips or unless there's bonuses or unless there's something else that makes them kind of go above and beyond.
Gotcha.
Because you're buying, at that point, it feels transactional. Feels like you're buying their time.
Yep. And
I don't ever want someone to feel like I'm just buying their time as a body.
Yeah.
I want them to feel like I'm paying you for your time and your experience you're giving to someone. So since you've answered the first question, do you have a business bank account?
I do.
Okay. How are you going to expand knowing you don't want it to be your full-time thing? Like, are you comfortable there's two routes now that you don't want to do this for your career. Are you going to grow it to sell it? Or are you going to grow it to hand it off? AKA, you could bring a partner in. So this is one thing that I thought about doing. Let's say you grew it to $100,000 in revenue in 2023. At the end of the year, you look back, you're like, I did $100,000 of revenue. I'm going to PA school in the spring because it looks like a spring thing, right?
It starts in January.
Perfect. Okay, exactly. By the way, guys, me and Sophia did not talk about any of this, so I did not know that. So, okay, I start in January. I think I'm not really a partner guy. I don't really believe in like owning businesses with partners.
Yeah.
Dave Ramsey has a funny quote where he says, partnerships don't set sail. They're the only ship that doesn't sail. Partnership. He said it fails. But a part of me kind of thinks it makes sense in some ways. Like if you're the majority owner, maybe you don't sell them part of the business. Maybe you give them X amount of the profit. So have you thought about which route you may choose to go?
A little bit, not a ton. Funny that you said that. So I've been going to NOMA for a while, and the owner, or
is that North Main?
Yes.
Okay.
Beth, who is the owner's daughter, but she does a lot there. She came up to me a few weeks ago and goes, someone in the neighborhood asked to buy your business and wants to know your contact information, but I didn't give it to them. And I was like, okay, good. So that is very interesting to me that someone saw my business, found it, and wanted to buy it. I do not have plans of selling it. I don't think. So
the maybe bringing on somebody route to like run the day-to-day type thing? Yes,
I have someone in mind. So
good.
That is most likely what I will do, is go that route.
So let's talk a little bit about how you can expand. So you said expansion. What are your plans? What have you thought about so far?
So I want to be able to almost say yes to everything. I really hate saying no to going to a pop-up boutique or wherever. I love doing the parties. I want to do more parties. I think weddings would be super fun. I'm hopefully doing a day of
having like a wedding charm.
Yeah. Yep. I'm hopefully doing a wedding in October that I'm doing the bride and her bridal party.
Sick.
The day of, as kind of a fun morning activity.
I think that's awesome.
So like I said, the experience based, that's something super fun and memorable for them to have on that day. So continuing to do stuff like that. I'm doing a brand launch party next month for someone. So stuff like that. Want to do more.
Okay. So, and I hope our listeners from the podcast are able to apply what we're talking about to their business. So we're basically talking about how to, make your business more tangible growth wise. Okay. Yes. So here's my thoughts on that. One, your website, I was looking at your website. Like, I know you're busy right now. You're not that busy.
Yeah.
You don't have kids. You're not in school. You're not married yet. Yep. Okay. And so when I started you're busy, but like, you're really not. You need to have a month where you stay up till midnight every night.
Yep.
If you believe in this, like you say, which is what you're saying, you just need to hey guys, I'm going in a cave. I'm not going to hang out at a campfire till 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get my website totally done because you should be able to buy stuff online.
Yep. 100%. That's something I want to do.
100%.
Add on there.
Do it at nighttime.
Yep.
Fridays from 8 to whatever. you're not doing anything from 8 to 4. You're working on refine every day.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you believe in it, if our listeners believe in their business,
Mm-hmm.
you find the time to make it happen.
Yep.
I used to say that in the Down in Business podcast the first year. My little phrase was go out there and make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like as entrepreneurs, we have to figure out how to make it happen. I have 3 kids under 4
Yep.
now. When I started Trifecta, I was 24, my landscape company that grew to multi-million dollars. Okay. And I had a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have as much flexibility now. This week, because Pure, we're really growing, our marketing company, Pure Marketing, I've been working till 1 a.m. up here after my wife goes to sleep. And I'm not bragging. I'm saying like, okay, my wife goes to bed about 10-ish. I've been up here. Logan knows this, 10:30 to 1 o'clock. It's what I have to do right now. And so I want you to kind of think about where can you squeeze the juice out of the melon, so to speak, over the next month, 30, 45 days.
Yep.
Because if you can get 10, 15 more hours a week, let's just do a quick math. Okay, that's 45 hours. That gives you a week of full-time work to get this thing. You've already got a good base. How do we sharpen it? And if you want to, meet with me a week to help you do it, whatever. Yeah. But that's how you're going to crush this. So getting your online store up, I think you need to do influencers ASAP.
Okay.
So because once you get your store up, give them a promo code. They get a kickback on any sale off your promo code every time. Yeah. Whether they're local, I actually have a couple like moms in mind, or like you said, your target customer is college age girls. Yep. Or like 20s.
I would say 20s, but also the moms love the permanent jewelry.
So that's where Logan, I was asking him, help me explain this, because my wife's 29. We have 3 little babies. I would be nervous. I should have let her speak on this, but ripping it off. Yeah. Like kids, like my son was crying last night. He's 5 months old. He almost ripped my new necklace off last night. I put it on yesterday. So like, how do you can't fix it unless you're there. Do you have like a kit that you give them to fix it themselves?
No, I have somewhat of a warranty where if someone brings it back to me, I'll re-weld it for free for the first time because accidents happen, kids, dogs, stuff like that.
Yeah, you should do that, by the way. That's a great idea.
Yeah, so the first time is free, and then after that, there's a small fee to re-weld it.
$5.
Exactly. So that works pretty well. Most people haven't complained about having a hard time finding me because I have something every week. If there is a really weird circumstance, they can mail it to me. I'll add a clasp and send it back to them for free. Okay. And I'll pay for the postage.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So going back, you're saying moms are starting to like, I know 3 moms right now in Colombia that have 50K plus followers. Yep. And if you had a store with 50 items on it, which you probably have sitting at your house right now, you just need to put pics and put them online. Shopify, Etsy, whatever how'd you build that website? Through what? Squarespace. Okay, I think they have
they do. I'm gonna go the Etsy route. I've looked
Etsy,
at
perfect.
It a little bit,
I like Etsy too. You'd sell out in a day, 2 days. Yeah. And I know that personally because a friend of mine who's now famous, Morrison Made Leather. Have you seen him online?
No, I don't think so.
He's 2 million on YouTube now. Oh man. Yeah. Logan's got his wallet right here. Nice. I met him a couple years ago because, I'm an influencer in the landscape space and he was not blown up yet, but I knew he was starting to. Oh man. He was a fireman full time doing it on the side, just like you basically. Yeah. And now he's got 4 or 5 million followers. He is sponsored huge brand deals. Wow. I helped him negotiate the deal and amazing what has happened to his business. But that influencer marketing, he has proven to me, like, especially with products, we're doing some with Pure with services and we see some traction so far, but we're still learning it. But like products, I mean, give them the margin. You don't have to hire a salesperson. Yep. Give it to them. Hey, I'll give you X dollars per sale if they use your code at checkout.
So how do people get these influencers? Do I just look for them, reach out to them, say you'd be a perfect fit?
Funny you say that. We're actually, we haven't told anybody, but we're starting that service as like our last thing at Pure. That's why we're called an agency. Cool. We're going to help companies curate influencers because we know it very well. But you could either have us do it for a fee, or you could do it. Yes, you just DM them. Nice. But you've got to have all your P's and Q's ready because they're going to go and look you up. So if your social media is not popping, if your website's not looking great, they're gonna like, no thanks. You could give them a free pop-up. Like there's things, and we can talk about this, but like you could give them, hey, as an influencer, like we have benefits for our influencers. You get a promo code where you get a kickback, and we'll give you a free pop-up show every year.
Nice. Yeah. That's real smart.
You know what I mean? So, cause from what the numbers you're telling me, if there's what's a average or like okay day at Soda City?
Average is 2,500, I would say.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And Soda City is every Saturday all year, right? You have to just do that.
Yeah.
Not you, but like somebody. Oh my goodness. I did not know that. Okay. So you could do 125 at Soda City by itself, one day a week.
Yep.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah, we got big stuff to talk about.
You know, here's the question is, when does it not run out, but you know, how long can I do it before people get,
I don't think they will.
get their 2 bracelets and, you know, that's it. People don't, I mean, we are starting to offer normal jewelry, you know, great for gifts, just put it on, whatever. But at a certain point, it's, you know, people are not going to keep coming back unless it's Christmas or.
You said this to me off air. You said you think this could be like a fad, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree. Okay. I said this to Logan off air. Like everybody who thinks that there's a market. Okay. Kylie Jenner or Kendall, which one's the one with the makeup line?
Kylie.
There's been makeup done by everybody forever. And she's famous, obviously. But if she had said, you know what, it's pretty saturated. I don't think I'm going to do makeup. She wouldn't be a billionaire.
Yep.
Okay. There is a million companies that do everything. There's so few things that are like only a couple companies do it and I can like grab market share.
Yeah.
Because the Bible tells us there's nothing new under the sun. Okay. Most ideas have happened. The way that you differentiate yourself is you take the general idea and you put your own twist on it that the market needs.
Yep.
Okay. That's it.
Yep.
So with Pure, okay, I'll just speak about our marketing company. There's lots of marketing companies. There's not tons of them, but there's several. What we see and saw because of my landscape background, my business background, is there's a lot of companies that don't realize the accessibility to marketing services, nor do they even understand it on an educational level. Okay, so when they thought marketing, they're like, oh yeah, billboards and pamphlets and flyers and commercials. Like that's what you naturally think. And like, that's not marketing. Marketing is telling your story to your desired audience in our way, is in a unique and creative way. So we're doing that. I don't want to say getting on too much of a roll there, but like, that's the way we spun it. I was like, we're going to do it in a unique, creative way and show you how easy and affordable it can be. Okay. So you do the same.
Yeah.
So here's why it's not a one-time purchase thing that you should be scared of, that you're going to like, okay, once everyone's bought it, they're not going to come back. One, it's called a tree and branches model. This is what we call it. I call it, I don't know if I made it up, but I call it tree and branches. Your tree is your main thing you do, which is the permanent jewelry, putting it on. But if you have a branch of, I also sell earrings online. I also have extensions, basically. If I have extensions, but the problem is your tree is always going to grow because everyone wants to experience it. So like if a girl went to a wedding shower and she did it with the wedding party, she's like, oh my gosh, I had so much fun. If you're able to like slightly customize the experience, she'll go, I want to do this when I get engaged. And do it with my grandma who's 90. So I'm saying, like, it's not like going to get ice cream where the same flavor every time. First off, everyone goes and gets ice cream all the time. So, but they just keep repeat and wash. But for yours can be kind of adjusted to making it unique. And so don't discount that, like, women wear jewelry, period. They just do. And they're not going to stop. They don't stop wearing lipstick. They don't stop doing jewelry, and they drink coffee. Those are the 3 things every woman I know does. Okay. And gets their hair done. So I think if you can just slightly twist it left and right, up and down, stay with your main tree, then I don't think it's a problem. How do you stay ahead of everyone else wanting to do it? Okay. Let's talk about that. you have to be forward thinking. So we
Mhm.
talked about this. Yes, again, I'm looking at Logan because he's over there, but like we just talked about this stuff. Forward thinking is the thing. When people stop, like if you were just like Soda City's my thing, okay, that's not forward thinking. You're thinking about what got you here. Yeah, milk the cow, so to speak. Okay, like keep doing that. But what's the next step too?
Yeah.
How do I go from Soda City? How do I make that better? The mistake that entrepreneurs make, and I think a lot of our listeners and their businesses make, and so I'm gonna talk to just everybody, is you try to ride the horse that got you there. You don't train the horse better. You don't feed it better food. You don't take it on rides any different than the same path you always go on. And it just becomes the same thing. And sooner or later, that horse is old. That horse is not fed well enough. And that path is worn down. I'm not saying get off. Hear what I didn't say. I didn't say get off the horse. I didn't say go get a new one every time. I'm saying that horse is awesome. Make it the best possible it can. Give it different places to go. So Soda City, you have a small booth right now, right? Maybe you get the big one at the corner.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, we're here at Soda City. We're making X amount of revenue. How do I get that one? How do I make it even better? Maybe you have an appearance from a famous person in town and your booth is the booth that day. Hey guys, you've seen us refined. You've seen us here at Soda City. We have Dawn Staley. I'm the basketball coach, right? Yes. Whoever it is. Yep. That's see what I'm talking about? Like, okay, this is awesome. How do we make it better? Yeah. So that was a long thing, but hopefully that resonates with you in some way.
Super helpful.
Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, that is very affirming. I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, with permanent jewelry itself, get new chains, get new styles, because people are all the time are like, oh, do you have new things? I have a lot of recurring customers. People come back for seconds. It's somewhat addicting. They really like it. They think it's super fun. And they're like, oh, I want to add to my stack. So, marketing the idea of create your own stack, add a few bracelets
product development. You need a product development.
Yep.
And this is where it gets hard, right? Like as an owner, you're kind of doing everything. How do you have time to product develop, pay the bills, order the materials, book all the places, talk to all the Instagram messages? It gets tough. Yeah. So hiring someone sooner than later, if you don't need, this is why I told Spencer and Dave, which Spencer's your boyfriend. Yep. If you don't need the money, spend it. So like if you have a decent amount of money in the bank and you don't literally need that $5 to live tomorrow, go hire someone now. Yep. And spend it. Yeah.
I had that conversation yesterday or 2 days ago, actually, with Spencer, because I said, I have some money sitting in the business account. Should I, put it in stock? Should I do this? And he goes, no, put it in your business.
Put it back in. Yep. Wash it. I'll tell you this real quick and then we'll kind of wrap up. For the first 3 years of my landscape business trifecta, we did $250,000 the first year, $500,000 the second year, and $900,000 the third year. I put all of it back except my salary. Yep. All of it. I pay myself like 40. And told my wife, I was like, hey, trust me on, we talked about it. I was like, hey, trust me on this. At the end of the into the second year, I had $100,000 in the bank. Yep. And we were like, we lived in a tiny house, literally off TV. It's like, do we go buy a house or do we ride this another year and I'll put all of it back into the business and double it? And she said, we said double it. Yeah. And it went to $1 million.
That's great.
And so 900, whatever. I'm with it. Do it. If you believe in it, if you feel you don't have, if you don't have to have it to pay your bills tomorrow and go homeless, trust it, run with it, do it. So hire somebody part-time ASAP and or full-time, whatever you need to do. If you need a better tent, if you need to, and we can talk about all that off air, like consulting stuff, to help you with the business plan. But hopefully we're going to wrap up, but hopefully our listeners have seen, you've bootstrapped this, you had no background. None. It doesn't take, so many people message me and are like, well, I don't have the training and I don't have the resources. Make it happen, dude. If your goals and your dreams are not big enough, then there's any excuse to not make it happen. And I'm not really like a guy your goals and dreams shouldn't be physical, they should be impacting people. And they should be, changing the world. Money helps change the world. I'm not here to brag on myself, but I've been how much I can give now, how much I've been able to give the last 6 months. Our church is doing this thing, and I just was able to write a sweet check.
Nice.
Yeah, it's huge,
Yeah.
and it was awesome. And every Christian's, I'm gonna speak on faith. Like, if we were all wealthy, how much more impact could we make on the world?
For sure. That's
not talked about enough in church circles. It's not talked about enough. People should be comfortable saying, I want to make a lot of money so I can help a lot of people. If it's for only selfish reasons, the Bible talks about that. Like, if it's only for indulging yourself, then it's wrong. But go make money, dude. Sophia, you're killing it. I'm so proud of you. Thanks. I hope all our business owners kind of take some things that from your business and are able to apply it to theirs. Quick plug where people can find you on social media.
So social media, our Instagram is Refined Permanent Jewelry, and our website is refined-jewelry.com.
Awesome. Sophia, thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Everyone, Down to Business Podcast. Sophia, thank you so much. And I hope you go out there and crush it today. Thanks.